friends, I'm Crystal, Creative Director. Thanks for joining me this week. I want to talk to you about 4 key pieces to content strategy for your fall of 2021. These are all tips and advice and information that I practice and preach with the clients that I work with. And so I want to share with you today some things that you need to be looking at when it comes to your content strategy this fall, and where you might want to implement certain pieces that are going to be missing from what you might have in mind. So that said, the first and most easiest, of course, is what is your goal going to be? When it comes to goals, we all have tons of ideas. I mean, we could probably sit down and talk and brainstorm and decide that you want to do all the exciting things. You want to, be with wholesalers. You want to increase your wholesale accounts, but you also want to increase your social media presence. You want to be on Amazon. You want to do all the things, right? And while that might be perfect, it's not going to help if you don't know what the core goal is and which one of those goals is going to be most important to helping you grow this fall. So what I do with the business owners that I work with, and I actually just practiced this morning on a call with one of the business owners, is taking a moment to stop and look at how many months you have. We are here in September now, and so we know that we have October, November, and December to really just kill it in our business, but also take advantage of the best season and time for people to purchase and get exposure to your product and buy gifts and get other people exposed to your product as well. So what I do is I line out and say, okay, we've got October. October is fall. October is also a great opportunity to really ramp up any of the seasonal products that you have going. So you can look at setting a goal, I would say, in 2 different ways. You could say, I want my goal to be something that is, expanding my reach. Like maybe I'm wanting to increase, ads. Maybe I'm wanting to, what's another thing? We could expand across multiple platforms. A lot of people have been toying with whether or not TikTok would work for their business. So that's another option as well, because they're giving some opportunities for you to be able to sell products better on TikTok. So you identifying what that goal is, or maybe it's just something as simple as reeling it back a little bit and deciding what products might be featured that month. Maybe you have seasonal items that you sell really well in October. It's those fall scents. It's all the things that people love to start absorbing in October. And you want to focus on that. Figure out just what that one main goal is. Is it getting those products out there and then deciding what to do from there? But just focusing on that one goal is really going to help you be very, very clear on all the decisions that you might make this month on the content and things that you're going to be scheduling and focusing your efforts into for October. So do that for each month, October, November, and December, and that way you have that one core piece, and then work backwards. If your core focus is to sell a, line of 5 products that you have that are, fall scents or fall smells, or I said scents and smells, fall feels, anything like that is fall centered, and you decide you want those 5 products to be the main goal, then work backwards from there. Where are you getting the most visibility right now? Where are you getting the most interactions? Where are you getting the most sales? And then building out your strategy in those key areas. How can we market this product? Do we have a video for it? Do we have photos for it? Do we have individual items for it? Really getting specific and breaking that down and working that backwards based on what that core goal is going to be, and just focusing there. And if you rock it and you knock out all of that, and you feel like you've got a good strategy around that and know exactly what you want to do with those products, then maybe you could move on to something else, or you could do a flash sale here and there for additional income generating activities. So the next thing I would think of, as well, and take into consideration with the strategy is, are you going to be running any ads? And then of course, are there any additional bundles and things that you want to add in? But just make sure that you focus on the one goal first before you get to the part of spiraling out and having so many ideas and so many things that you want to do, and then never really fully achieving or executing a plan to get those sales coming in for the products that you really want to get off the shelves. The second tip, or I guess you could say key piece to your content strategy, is going to be, do you have the content and the images to support the marketing that you want to do? We all know that it takes 7 good touch points before someone will start to recognize or consider buying something. That means you need beyond that in order for people to buy. So we know that social media is also controlled, so we don't always see every single thing that we want to see. We don't always get every product and everything that we love showing up in our feed all the time. So we need to make sure that you are sprinkling out your marketing in different ways and that you have the content to support it. So now that we're in September, you should already be scheduled and ready to do photos and videos and all the content and graphics that you need for October. That way you're ahead and you can focus on what you need to focus on, like running your day-to-day business in October. So if you're not doing that yet, that's what you need to be focused on, is focusing on that content. Do you have maybe old photos that you could pull? In some cases, you may not have changed product labeling. Some things might have been photographed in a timeless manner so that you don't notice that maybe it's a different season in a different year. So go through and look at things that you can repurpose. But then also sit down and get real with yourself and say, okay, do I need to have a holiday photo shoot? Because right now is the time to do that. Reach out to your local photographer, reach out to your marketing person, find out who they know that could get you a holiday themed photo shoot. That way you can then go back, look at your goals that you have for October, November, and December, and pull together what content you're gonna need to support that marketing strategy, and make sure that you have those touch points with your audience to remind them, hey, I'm here, I've got the things that you're interested in, I have the body scrub, I have the lotion, I have the scents, I have the cute pillows for your decor, I have all of those products that you need, and they're right here and available for this price point. Make sure you have enough content, especially video. I know a lot of us have kind of shied back from video. Some of us are finally starting to embrace it. There may be some people who are going, oh, you know, I don't know, I don't know how I feel, you know, whatever. But video is big. Whether it's video of just the products itself, or video of you interacting in some kind of way and creating a reel, if you will, or a TikTok. Find a way to imply the video, because posts of just photos aren't working as well on social media as they used to. I'm gonna say that don't work well, because there are some accounts they are still working really well for, but Instagram has already released earlier this summer that they are going to be prioritizing video. So if you really want to amplify your marketing efforts and you're planning to use Instagram or TikTok or even Pinterest, video is showing up everywhere. So finding a way to make that work for you and your brand is gonna be very important to consider. And the third thing is pretty much just piggybacking off of exactly what I said. Are you throwing in video to increase the exposure and the conversions? Even that reach, that additional reach, is a huge, huge piece to being able to increase your sales. And that's where video is taking priority. So if you're going and posting a reel, and say you don't do a whole ton of activity, you can still get 1,000 to 1,500 to 2,000 views per video that you're posting on those accounts. And then just take that one video and redistribute that content. So create it, make it fun, add some music, post it on Instagram. Take the same video, make it fun, add some by adding some music, and post it on, Pinterest as an idea pin. And then go over to TikTok if you have a TikTok account and repurpose it there. You can even shuffle and kind of mix things up a little bit if you want, but honestly, different people are gonna be on different platforms at different times. So by doing that though, you're gonna make sure that you've extended that reach, and using the video is going to be extremely key to do that. Some other things you can consider if you're like, okay, I know we need to do video, but like, how are we gonna do video? Is consider whether or not a person has to always be in it. Like I mentioned before, you can do product videos only. You can do stop motions, you can do other branded videos. Doing video usage where you're showing the product, you're scooping it, you're swiping it, all of those kinds of things are very intriguing to people, as well as very acceptable forms of video that it responds well to the audience that's out there. So consider some of the other ways that you can do that. Maybe you have an employee. Maybe you have someone that's helping you with packaging. Maybe you have a husband or a teenager or somebody that can help you create some of those videos where maybe it's just focused on the product and some of the actions of using it, scooping it, swiping it, mixing it, opening it, packaging it, any of those types of things that you can put out there. I think I just listed off like 5 different ideas that make it very easy for you to be able to start using video. Another thing is to set up a tripod. Everybody loves to watch the fast action videos of it speed moving through someone doing something. I do it myself. When I'm in the studio, sometimes I just set up a tripod, I put my phone on it, and I just hit record, and I just let it record me running around, taking photos of people, moving in and out props, staging, setting things up, photographing it, all of those pieces. You can do the same thing for your business. You can show the creation, maybe the behind the scenes of how you're designing something that's custom, any of those types of pieces, and then you can just increase the speed so that it becomes a quick movement and a short clip that you can use as a video. Get a tripod. Everybody has one. They're super cheap. You can find them on Amazon. I can link my favorite one below that comes with a ring light. I use it for my videos. Hello. And you can use it for your stuff too. The last thing is that you can consider calling your photographer. Some of our brands are luxury brands. A lot of the clients I work with have a luxury brand. They need to be style conscious. They need top-notch photos that are going to be available to them for many different reasons and many different ways that they advertise. And so they need a photographer. So call your photographer. See if your photographer could do maybe an on-site shoot where they can get some clips of both video and photos of you in action and working so that you can utilize those in a nice branded video that you can then post and distribute across all of the platforms. So those are a couple of different ways that you can get to using video. If you're not sure, if you have any questions about it, leave me a comment below. I'm happy to help. And then of course, for the fourth and final key piece of creating your content strategy and what you're doing for this fall of 2021, the actual implementation and layout of everything, the how, the when, the where, are you planning to post and share and gain exposure? How are you going to now get this out there? You know what your goal is, you know you're getting some photo and video to really support that, and you know how you want it to stand out. So now at this point, it's really laying out the roadmap and making sure that you have an adequate ramp up. Are you preparing? Have you been showing up consistently? Are you interacting with your audience? Things like that that are going to help your account ramp up and get ready for sales, get ready to be able to push those sales and to get a good response. So make sure that you're interacting and doing those things, those activities, I should say, to get you there. So if you're planning to do something in October, that means that now you should be posting. You should be talking to your audience. You should be going into stories and doing polls. You should do an IGTV live where you're talking about the products, posting the reels and doing some of those things. It doesn't mean you have to do them every single day, but just keeping up that appearance and that ramp up for the sale later in October is going to go a lot more smooth, as opposed to you having ghosted your account or barely shown up and then all of a sudden popping up out of nowhere and saying, hey, I got a sale, buy this. So make sure that you are selling though. That means make sure you are selling though. So while some of these pieces are interested, if people don't know what you have to offer, or they don't know that there's a sale going on, make sure that you have factored in their post to sell. I like to do a 1-to-3 ratio, especially when I know I have a ramp up period and I have a few weeks to get to where I actually want the sale to take place. And I do a 1-to-3 ratio. That means I do 1 sales post and 2 interactive. And then as I get closer, about 2 weeks out from the actual sale event that's going to take place, I will flip that and then I will do 2 sales focused posts and 1 interactive. And so that's just kind of a rhythm that I find that I like to use, and that might work for you. So maybe even just establishing kind of what that might look like. But again, going to planning, kind of laying it out where you want to post it and how often is going to help you determine how many things you can post there. And then just make sure that as you get close to the actual sale and when you want that to take place, that you are actually selling a little bit more than you might at any other point. And if you don't sell at all, you need to be selling even more so. Because if you're not asking for the sale, people aren't going to know that you have the sale going on with your product, or that you have something great to offer them that's going to be solving a problem that they might have, or giving them, you know, a gift to give to somebody else. All of those things I'm sure make a ton of sense, but ramping up and that visibility is going to be key. So make sure that you go through and you actually lay everything out. You plan out the dates of how often you want to post, and you make sure that it does actually ramp up to the week that you're going to be having a fall sale, the week that you're going to be having the Black Friday sale. All of those things. So make sure to lay that out, really evaluate it, make sure it makes sense. Ask yourself, like, is this ramping up to something that is going to be exciting? Is there content that we can create around that to make sure that this sale is successful? All of those things are going to be very important. You can't ghost and then just show up and be like, hey, it might work a little bit, especially depending on how big your brand is. But in most cases, a lot of us have to kind of warm up our audience and work up to that point, even just for ourselves, of getting ready to go into that sale mode so that our businesses can be successful and we can start building that momentum now so that later on this fall, as the sales actually start happening, we start actually seeing a return on our investment with our marketing teams, with the content that we're doing, with the photos that we had taken. All of those pieces come together. You have a successful finish of the year and are able to relax and rest and take some time off. So if you're looking for more marketing tips and tricks, make sure to click subscribe below. I would love to have you here answering questions. Is one of the things I love to do, so you can comment below. You can also find me over on Instagram at crystalclear_creative studios. You'll see that I'm there often posting a lot of my content as well. So if you need some inspiration or have a couple of questions, you can find me over there anytime. Otherwise, I hope to see you guys next week.